traveling nurses are not your average renters. They show up with a laptop, a stethoscope, and the quiet fury of someone who just finished a 12-hour shift and needs to video call their patient chart system right now. If your midterm rental doesn't have internet that can handle that energy, you're going to get a 1-star review that reads like a courtroom testimony. Here's the thing most landlords get wrong. They assume any Wi-Fi will do, like they're setting up a guest bedroom for grandma who only checks Facebook. A traveling nurse on a night shift is basically running a remote command center. Telehealth calls, electronic health records, hospital VPN tunnels, and maybe a nursing board study app all running at the same time. The magic number you need to know is at least 50 megabits per second for download speed, and that's really the floor, not the ceiling. Think of it like a highway. One nurse with one laptop might manage on 2 lanes, but add a video call and a VPN, and suddenly you've got a traffic jam at 2 in the morning. Upload speed is the sneaky villain that nobody talks about at landlord meetups. Telehealth platforms and hospital remote access systems push data back to the server constantly. And if your upload speed is sitting at 5 megabits per second, that nurse's face is going to look like a Minecraft character on her supervisor's screen. You want to shoot for at least 20 megabits per second upload, and honestly, if you can get a plan with symmetrical speeds, meaning the same number up and down, you're basically a 5-star host in nurse culture. Symmetrical plans used to be rare and expensive, but fiber internet providers have made them about as common as a hospital vending machine selling flamin' hot Cheetos at midnight. Night shifts create a specific internet pattern that's easy to overlook. Your nurse isn't streaming Netflix at 8 p.m. like a normal tenant. She's logging into a remote system at 2 a.m. when most of the neighborhood is asleep. The good news is that off-peak usage means less network congestion, but the bad news is that when something breaks at 2 in the morning, there's no IT department coming to save either of you. This is why having a backup internet solution isn't paranoia, it's a professional offering. A cellular backup router loaded with a prepaid data plan is like a spare tire. Your nurse doesn't want to use it, but if the cable goes down during a telehealth shift, she's going to remember you forever for having it. Router placement is another detail landlords treat like an afterthought, tucking the thing behind a TV stand in the living room like it's embarrassing. Your nurse is probably working from a desk in the bedroom, which means the signal has to pass through walls, and Wi-Fi passing through walls is like shouting through a pillow. Something always gets lost. A mesh network system, which is basically multiple small routers spread around the unit working together, solves this problem without requiring you to rewire anything. Brands like Eero or Google Nest make setup so simple that even a landlord who still prints out MapQuest directions can handle it. Before your nurse tenant moves in, run a speed test in every room of the unit and screenshot the results like evidence at a deposition. Post those numbers in your listing because nurses are research-trained humans who will absolutely check. And seeing real data instead of just the word fast will make your rental look like the adult in the room. It's also smart to ask your nurse tenant during the onboarding conversation what platforms their hospital uses, because some hospital VPNs are notoriously bandwidth hungry, and knowing that in advance lets you have an honest conversation about expectations. You're not a tech support hotline, but showing that you thought about this at all puts you in a completely different category from the landlord whose listing photo is a blurry shot of a bathroom mirror. Include the internet provider name, plan tier, and speed specs right in your lease addendum alongside the Wi-Fi password, because that paper trail protects you if there's ever a dispute about whether the internet was adequate. It also signals to a traveling nurse, who lives by documentation that you are her people. The landlords who master midterm rentals for medical travelers aren't the ones with the fanciest furniture. They're the ones who figured out that a tired nurse at 3 a.m. just needs the internet to work the same way she needs her scrubs to fit. When you solve that problem before she even thinks to ask about it, you've built the kind of trust that turns into a 5-star review, a lease renewal, and a referral to every nurse in her cohort. Midterm rentals for traveling nurses are one of the most stable income streams in the short-term rental world right now, and the barrier to entry is mostly just paying attention to details other landlords can't be bothered to Google. If you want to learn more about how our company can help you set up your rental for traveling professionals, check out the links in the description.